Hey guys, Justin here. Welcome to part 1 of how to make a 7-foot 550 paracord Stockwhip. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the handle of the Stockwhip. So I hope you learned something. Here we go. Alright guys, the tools we're going to need to get started with. First thing you guys are going to need is a oak dowel rod, which is 36 inches long overall. If you guys want to make 2 whips that are identical, you can make them side by side like I did for the first one. So you can get 2 of these. You will need 2, unfortunately, because the whip we're making is, the handle's 21 inches long. So if you guys just want to make cut it in half and make 2 18s, that's fine too. But the one I'm making has a 21 inch handle, so we're gonna have a little waste but not much. Anyways, make sure the dowel rod is true and not warped, because if it's warped, we're gonna have a lopsided or bent Stockwhip and it could cause a weak spot in it. So when you purchase this 5/8 inch 36 inch piece of oak dowel rod, make sure it is straight, okay? And that's kind of hard to find, but I'll probably end up using the end from this end right here and then cutting 21 inches. And then you're going to need a hacksaw to cut that, and a belt sander. This one I got for about 40 bucks. Really wasn't too much. Make sure it is a belt sander that you can turn on and lock on. That way it stays on when it's upside down. And try to find one that is kind of level like this one is. All I have to do is put like a little piece right in there and it's not going to be rocking all over. So, and the belts for the belt sander, I recommend this Dowel sander belts, or sanding belts. It is 50 grit for this one, and this one is 120 to finish it off. And for the final touch, just a sheet of 220 sandpaper, and that should be all we need to get started. Well, let's get to it. Alright, we got our dowel rod. 5/8 inch oak dowel rod. I'm going to cut it to 21 1/4 inches. We're going to give it a little extra. Okay. Right there. Get our hacksaw. Crap, I'm not right-handed. Okay. To taper our dowel rod down to basically the same thing as this. This is when the belt sander comes into play. It's a very slow taper, is what I did with this. We go from the one end, which is the full size, all the way down to about 1/4 inch, maybe 5/16 of an inch, which is exactly what we want. What I've done here, best thing to do under the belt sander is take a towel. I folded it about a regular fold. Take a towel, put it down, and kind of do this. Get the belt sander kind of snugged in there. You can see it's kind of level, which is exactly what I want. And this way the vibration, it doesn't vibrate off the counter because it's a towel, so it's kind of absorbing that, which is a good thing. It's on. So we're going to start with our 50 grit sandpaper. So grab one of those. And like I said, I bought some Walmart belt sander belts and they were crap. But these ones are from Home Depot. And the brand, like I said, is Dowel. And everybody's got a different belt sander length. So mine was a 3 by 18 inch. It's probably some of the best quality and it lasts a long time. So throw one of those on there, one of the 50 grits. Okay. We got our belt in. Do not forget safety glasses, very important. Hearing protection, if necessary. Well, it's always necessary actually. Anytime you're working with power tools, either the muffs or the plugs. So, okay, we're all set. Our goal is to make this. Obviously you guys aren't going to have a diagram to follow, but I'm going to show you the basics of how I get to this point. So we plug our belt sander in. I already got mine locked on, so I probably should be wearing gloves while I'm doing this, but what I'm trying to do is create a gradual taper on the dowel rod. That's paper. One of the stickers on the dowel rod I'm trying to get off right now. Believe it or not, the 50 grit sandpaper takes it down really, really fast. Working on the tip of the Stockwhip handle, trying to get it shaped down. And make sure you hold on tight with these with this dowel rod, because it'll take off on you if it gets that, if the sandpaper or the sand. If the belt sander grabs a hold of it, it'll throw it across the room. Still takes a little time to make this work. Hold firm is what I'm saying. Firmly grasp it! And try not to let the belt grab a hold of your fingers, because the 50 grit will tear you up pretty quick. We are nearing the end. We're very close. It's lost a lot of weight, believe it or not. And that should be the end of this piece. Okay, we have our basic layout of what we want. Very close to what this is, as you can see. Now we're going to switch belts. We're going to go to the 120 sandpaper. The 120 sandpaper belt. See, this one's not as aggressive. Kind of just to fine hone everything. It's not really going to be taking a bunch off at this point. That first one was the real aggressive one to take everything down to where we wanted it. Okay. Okay, this is the 120 sandpaper that I'm working with right now. This is basically just to take out all the real deep gouges that might have happened on the first run with the 50 grit. And this one does shoot across the room. I hold it pretty lightly. I don't hold it real stiff or push real hard against the belt sander. Just spin it nice and easy as you go. Just working on getting those real aggressive scratches out. There's actually a square plate, that steel that you see on the belt sander. That's what I'm going across. That's why I'm on an angle right there. Oh, and there it goes out of my hands. Don't do that. Bringing the tip down to about 5/16 of an inch. Hopefully this isn't too hard for you beginners out there to do. And that should wrap up this all good. Okay, I got our 220 sandpaper. This is going to give our final finish. And now after you get this all sanded down and smooth where you want it to be, it's up to you guys on what you want to do to it. You can choose to spray paint it, or what I did with that one, polyurethane, and you could stain it. So you have a couple options at this point of what you guys want to do. I'm probably just going to end up spraying this one with polyurethane. This will look really nice. Yeah, get it all smooth. Then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Our main spot to sand with the 220 I just did was basically from here to right about there. So if you got that all sanded down and nice and smooth, you can put whatever kind of coating you guys want on it. Because from down here, pretty much right there, we're gonna be covering that whole handle. So make sure your tip is round. Make sure the notch is about, that's about a 1-inch gouge into it. And like I said, I did that on the corner there. That's just so it has a good spot for the loop, the keeper loop to bite. So we are ready for polyurethane. Ready to put our coat of polyurethane on this Stockwhip handle. What I have here is I cut out, drilled out holes that were 5/8 inch around, just like the Stockwhip. That way it's got a good spot to dry. It shouldn't get too many runs this way. It's a 2x6. That way we're going to spray it. This one I'm going to try without staining it, guys. I usually stain. We got a couple different stains here if you guys want to do that. This one is red mahogany, which turned out awesome. You can see that. And this one is actually classic gray from the last Stockwhip that I made. Anyways, let's get a nice coat on here. You can either get the can where you can paint it on, or you can use the spray like I got right here. I figured the spray might be a little faster. That way it has, we seal up the wood. Spin that around. First coat it always soaks up a bunch, so. Oak is pretty dense though, I don't know. It may not soak up too much, guys. This should take about 24 hours to dry. You can apply your next coat in, I think it's like an hour. I believe so, yeah. Anyways, look at the can and see how long it takes for it to dry the wood and stuff like that. Once you guys get your coat done, your first coat, meet me back here. Alright guys, we have polyurethaned our handle. Turned out nice. Like I said, we're not going to be, this is going to be covered right here, because it'll be covered with a paracord with an overlay. And from right about here to there, that's where the loop will be. So let's get to the loop part right now.